could be a pivotal day in the fight over additional funding for SEPTA. In a few hours, state senators will be back in session in Harrisburg, and they could decide whether or not SEPTA will receive the money it needs to prevent those doomsday service cuts and price increases. Good Tuesday afternoon. I'm Siafa Lewis in for Jim Donovan. That Pennsylvania State Senate session starts at 4 o'clock today. That is when lawmakers could take up the latest mass transit funding bill, which the House passed yesterday. SEPTA is calling Thursday the point of no return. If state funding is not secured by that date, August 14th, there will be service cuts to dozens of bus routes, trains, and trolleys. And this would impact communities across Philadelphia, including tens of thousands of students who rely on SEPTA to get to school. CBS News Philadelphia's Dan Snyder just spoke with Philadelphia School District Superintendent Tony Watlington and joins us right now with more. Good afternoon, Dan.
Siafa, good afternoon to you. If SEPTA does not get that funding, as you mentioned, those cuts would start taking place on August 24th. That is one day before Philadelphia students are slated to go back to school, making those students one of the first major groups in the city to really feel the impact of these potential cuts. District officials tell us 52,000 Philadelphia public school district students rely on SEPTA to get to and from school. That is a huge chunk, a little less than half of their population. Now, talking with SEPTA officials this week, they say these students will still have ways to get to school, but if their bus route is eliminated, they may have to walk further to get to catch a bus. They may have to walk further when getting off the bus. They may have to catch 2 or 3 buses just to be able to get to school. Now, speaking with Dr. Watlington, he says right now the district can't just add more yellow buses. They're short on school bus drivers as well. And because of the infrastructure, they really rely on SEPTA, and they need a deal to get done in Harrisburg. Take a listen.
A key driver for continuing to improve our school district is that we need our young people to be in school at least 90% of every month and 90% of the school year. So those 55,000 children in our city who depend on public transportation to get to school, it's really important that we do everything we can to fulfill our obligation to make sure that they have transportation to schools.
Now, the chief of school safety here says one thing they're working on, getting more officers, partnering with Philadelphia police to get more officers out on the ground if kids are going to be walking further distances to school. So that is something. But again, very reliant on public transit to get kids to and from school here in Philadelphia. Siafa, as you mentioned, that state Senate session starts at 4 p.m. today. We did talk with one of our local Republican lawmakers who said that House bill, it will face some challenges there in the Senate. So we'll see what happens starting at 4 p.m. today. For now, Dan Snyder, we'll send it back to you.
We will, of course, be watching. Dan, thank you very much. Now, as Dan just mentioned, students in Philadelphia and so many others could be impacted if SEPTA does not get the funding it needs. Stay with CBS News Philadelphia ahead of the Senate session at 4 o'clock today. We'll update you on air and online with any developments in the fight for that additional funding.